Can you please turn off the sound? Turn off that background noise, please. Thank you.
What? What does that mean?
Just tell people what you're thinking, Jeff.
I'm thinking that I want to be outside. It's so nice out.
Yep, we were outside. Now we're inside.
Ugh.
And that's something you're just gonna have to get over. Hello everyone and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
board gamey things. Exactly.
We are here today to do another pumped up Kickstarter.
PKS.
PKS. That's the sound effect.
Oh.
Today we are here to talk about Etariya's Septachroma Stones of Genesis. Now, before we get started, this, not Nakey on the back, but it is a prototype.
It is a prototype.
Okay, so things are subject to change. That's just the way these things work. This game was sent to us from Moa Ideas Game Design and was also, this video is also sponsored by them. So thank you so much to them.
Indubitably.
Indubitably. Now, there's a few things that I want to say before we jump into the overview. This game is coming soon to Kickstarter. It was already launched on Kickstarter, but they had to pull it down because there were a few details that were a little bit mixed up with shipping, and they just wanted to make sure that everybody got kind of the best deal possible.
Kudos to them.
Kudos to them.
Given all the issues with shipping and blah, blah, blah.
Hundo. So they took it down, but it is going to be coming back up soon. All of the links and everything will be in the description below so you can follow along. So when it launches, you'll be notified. The Kickstarter is also not only going to come with this game, but it actually has 2 games.
Yeah.
2 games, not just 1, 2. But we're only talking about this one today because this is the only one that we've played. So let's jump into the overview and then we are going to come back for a little discussion about Etariya. Etariya is a mysterious island whose unique ecology and civilization has always been the dream of explorers. Come on a journey and explore this mysterious place filled with puzzles and uncover the truth hidden in Etariya. Etariya Septachroma Stones of Genesis is a lightweight 2-player abstract game with beautiful components and 3 variants for advanced play. Players are 2 gods of light and dark, fighting over control of the mystic island of Etariya. Players take turns guiding the 7 tribes into regions of eternal day or eternal night, and try to lay claim 4 tribes for themselves to control the island. Enter the world where adventure awaits you. Explore the legendary island to unveil the divine mysteries. Okay, that was the overview. Now we're back to us. Okay, so Etariya is a 2-player only abstract strategy game. Okay, now in the game, one person is kind of playing as like the light side and one person is playing as the dark side, as you do, but it's pretty neat. So it comes with a little player board, and with that there's like these clear kind of see-through map tiles that have different patterns of either clear or black. At the beginning of the game, you place those tiles out onto the board at random. There's a stack of those tiles.
There's a whole bunch of variability there.
Yeah, so there's a ton of variability. So you place those out, and whoever the second player is, they're going to get an additional tile of their color placed in the center. So it gives them like a little tiny advantage for going second. Right? So that's the setup. So the game comes with multiple different variations. So you have your kind of standard play, which I believe they are actually now going to consider the easy mode. But essentially in this first version, each person is going to start by pulling 3 stones out of the bag. The stones represent 7 different tribes. And you are trying to guide the tribes to kind of come to your side. Sure. Right? You want to influence them to your side, light or dark. So you're going to pull 3 stones out, and they're going to be whatever colors that they are. And then on your turn, you have to place out those 3 stones, or they're wooden discs, but place those out onto the board one at a time. Similar colors must be adjacent if there is another one of those colors out. And once you hit 4 of the same color on the same
light or dark
sections, then you basically get to claim that tribe.
Yep.
So the game is going to continue on like that until someone has claimed 4 of the 7 tribes, and then they are the winner. So what's really interesting about this game is that it's really like this abstract strategy piece, because you are sometimes going to be forced to put a stone on the other player's color.
You can't avoid it, pretty much.
You can't avoid it. And the game is relatively quick, so it takes like 15 minutes to play, basically, and you are literally just going back and forth. You place 3, you draw 3. The other person places 3, draw 3. Check to make sure that, to see if there's any scoring to be done, and rinse repeat until somebody wins. It is extremely simple to set up, very simple to learn, very simple to eat, and easy to jump into and play, but it is extremely brain burny. Like, you may sit there kind of staring at the board thinking, where should I go?
Just with the way that the placement rules and the majority works, it's easy just to put them out on the board, but if you're playing strategically, which obviously people would be in this game, it's a bit analysis paralysis-y, in order to maximize each turn.
And like I mentioned, there are an additional 3 other variants besides this kind of base version of the game. So in the second variant, instead of pulling from the bag at the beginning of each person's turn and at the beginning of the game, you pull out 3 piles of 3 stones, and the active player has to choose from those 3. So it's giving you a little bit more choice and restrictions, because you can also kind of see how the other player might use the stones that are out to their advantage. So that's really interesting. The other variation, you make kind of like a horseshoe of the stones, and you have to choose 3 available from either end. So that just adds a little bit of a different variation. And then there is another variation that's kind of like, almost like a speed round. So we played 2 of the variations. We played just the standard base, and then we also played with the 3 piles of the stones. I would definitely say that the standard version was a little bit simpler in terms of, like, you just get what you get.
Yeah, there's a little bit more luck related.
Whereas with the piles of stones, you're getting a little bit more choice.
You're allowed to plan a little
thrown into your life, which could lead to a little bit more analysis paralysis, because there might be 2 piles that are really lucrative for you, but you can only pick one, and then the other player could take the rest away from you.
I think in each kind of variant, the difficulty increases slightly.
Yes. Another thing that we wanted to point out with this game is you can see this kind of like beautiful box art. They have created this whole world surrounding not only this game, but the other game that will be in the Kickstarter. And the plan is to continue making games that live within the world of Etariya. It's really interesting because typically with an abstract strategy game, you're just kind of getting that strategy game, whereas here you're getting story that goes along with it. So within the rule book, on one side of the page you have the rules. On the other side of the page you actually have like a storybook that's doing a little bit of world building, so you can kind of put yourself into the whole like 7 tribes, light versus dark, like being in this kind of fantasy-esque world. So it's pretty cool that you're going to kind of see progression of different games that most likely are all going to be very different games. They're all going to be connected in some way to this world.
Yeah, the Kickstarter comes with an art book.
Yep, a manga,
and
an original song.
And a song. This is kind of like injecting a bit of theme into an abstract game, which you're not going to feel in the gameplay per se. But I think it's neat that they're trying to develop this world, and this is like the first step into that world.
Who is this game for? If you are a 2-player primary household, this could be a great game for you. If you enjoy abstract strategy games, games like Azul or...
I actually want to talk about that quick. Why I prefer games like this over something like Azul is because there's direct interaction. You know, unlike Azul or like, what's the cat one? Calico. Unlike games like Azul or like Calico or whatever, where you kind of have your own board, I really like when it's a shared board and it's a little bit more mean.
Yeah, it definitely adds a bit more of a competitive aspect
vibe to it for
sure. Yeah, so if you're into that, because there is like blocking and cutting people off, and so there's a little bit of a mean element, which you know that we love. If you want a game that would be great to play over coffee, just to kind of pull out over lunch, it only takes 15 minutes to play.
Intro.
It's ages 10 plus. Who might it not be for?
If you don't like abstract
If
games.
you don't like this, yeah, this game is very abstract. Like, this is puzzly, abstract.
Yeah.
So if you don't like that, although it does have story, it's just that the story is kind of
It's
in the background.
It's an aside.
Yeah,
sure.
it's in the background for sure. So that is a little bit more about Etariya, Septachroma, the Stones of Genesis. If you are interested in learning more about this game, as I mentioned before, all of the information will be posted in the description below. So definitely go and check that out if you're interested. But that is everything that we have for you today. So if you're interested in buying board games, what did we just say? Well, where was this one? Yeah,
Kickstarter.
It's on Kickstarter, that's right. Other board games, though, you should go to your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is...
Boardroom Game Cafe.
Heck yeah, it is. If you like snacks, I mean, who doesn't? Where should they go?
Munch Pack.
They should go to Munch Pack, exactly. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye!
Later days.
Hello everyone and welcome back to, I'm looking in the wrong direction, just making sure we're recording. You don't know?
It's a new sound effect.
No, it's not. We've been using it for literally like a year.
Banana.
And there's like a soccer ball kick sound. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Got it?
Correct.
You freaking got it?
2 games.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love that. Love that journey. There is some bag pull. So, bag pull. That's a weird way to say it. So if you like abstract strategy,
Munch Pack.
You should go to Munch Pack. What?
You were like,
I got an itch on my nose and you got hairs on your face. Whoa. That's very long. Christmas light blessing. I got my eye on the door, waiting for you to walk in. But the time is ticking.